Welcome, students of BE Civil, for the subject Advanced Concrete Technology, Unit number 1. It includes the cement and its types, general, hydration of the cement, alkali aggregate reaction, grading curves of the aggregates, manufacturer sand as the fine aggregate, copper slag as fine aggregate. It also includes the concrete, properties of concrete, water binder ratio, WB ratio, gel space ratio, problems on maturity concept, aggregate cement bond strength, green concrete, guidelines for the quality control of the concrete, and the guidelines for the quality assurance of the concrete, and effects of admixtures. Now we will see aggregate cement bond strength, green concrete, guidelines for the quality control of the concrete, guidelines for the quality assurance of the concrete, and the effects of admixture. Firstly, we will see aggregate cement bond strength. So the concrete can be regarded as the chain in which aggregates are the links bonded together by the cement paste. As like the link in the chain, the concrete can be regarded as the chain in which aggregates are linked bonded together by the cement paste. Just as the strength of the chain as a whole is depending upon the strength of the welding of the individual link, the strength of the concrete as a whole is depending upon the strength, that is the bond strength of the hydrated hardened cement paste. By and large, the strength of hydrated hardened cement paste is depending upon the water cement ratio, that is WC ratio, which determines the quality, continuity, density, porosity of the products of hydration, in particular the CSH, that is calcium silicate hydrate gel. Stronger the gel bond, stronger is the concrete. So we have seen the aggregate cement bond strength. Now we will see the green concrete. 8 to 10% of the world's total CO2, that is carbon dioxide emissions, come from the manufacturing cement. Green concrete is defined as the concrete which uses the waste material as at least one of its component, or its production processes does not lead to the environment destruction, or it has high performance and life cycle sustainability. Various efforts have been conducted by the researchers to arrive at some alternatives that are able to significantly reduce the high energy consumed and environmental impacts during fabrication process of the cement, including implementing the concept of industrial ecology and green chemistry, as well as nanoengineering that study the behavior of the structure and organization of nanoparticles of cement in the mix for achieving the high performance. Alternative in reducing CO2, that is carbon dioxide emissions, through first is the substitution of cement with the fly ash. Second is the use of GGBS, that is the ground granulated blast furnace slag from the which is coming from the steel plant. Third is the use of microsilica. Fourth is the use of pozzolanic materials and limestone powder. Fifth is the various kinds of the ash from burning of domestic waste and biofuels. So we have seen the green concrete. Now we will see the guidelines for the quality control of the concrete. The aim of the quality control is to limit the variability as much as practicable. Statistical quality control method provides a scientific approach to the concrete designer to understand the realistic variability of the materials so as to lay down design specifications with proper tolerance to cater for unavoidable variations. The acceptance criteria are based on the statistical evaluation of the test result of samples taken at random during the execution. By devising a proper sampling plan, it is possible to ensure a certain quality at a specified risk. Thus, the quality control provides a scientific basis of acceptance which is not only realistic but also restrictive as required by the design requirements for the concrete construction. If a number of cube test results are plotted on a histogram, the results are found so follow a bell-shaped curve known as the normal distribution curve. The results are said to follow a normal distribution curve or the bell-shaped curve if they are equally spaced about the mean value and if the largest number of the cubes have a strength closer to the mean value and very few number of the results which much greater or less value than the mean value. However, some divergence from the smooth curve can be expected, particularly if the number of results available is relatively small. The arithmetic mean or the average value of the number of test results gives no identification of the extent of variation of the strength. However, this can be ascertained by relating the individual strength to the mean strength and determining the variation from the mean with the help of the properties of the normal distribution curve. So, we have seen the guidelines for the quality control of the concrete. Now, we will see guidelines for the quality assurance of the concrete. The quality is defined as the totality of features and characteristics of a product for service that bears on its ability to satisfy the project's functional requirements. The quality objective is to achieve zero defects with best quality of the project works. This is possible only by ensuring quality control at every stage during the progress of the construction or the process of the construction. Quality is conformity to the standards and the requirements to achieve the excellence. Quality assurance is defined as the planned and systematic actions and the implementations necessary to provide adequate confidence that the work will satisfy quality requirements. Quality assurance plan can serve as a roadmap to supervisory staff to ensure the quality of the project works. The quality assurance has to see that first, the design and drawing is kept at the site. Second is the check the manufacturers and calibration certificates of the equipments are necessary. Materials to be tested only in the approved laboratories and in front of the QC, that is quality controller. Tag and record all rejected materials. Daily consumption of the materials in the material register and indicate the balance quantity. Next is the daily work progress is maintained in the daily logbook. Verify the project progress schedule. The good workmanship should be there at the site. Most important is the disposal of the debris is properly done after the completion of the construction work. Prepare and submit the monthly progress report and other reports as per the requirements. These are the work to see by the quality assurance person. So we have seen the guidelines for the quality assurance of the concrete. Now we will see effects of admixtures. The effects of admixtures on the concrete: the reduction in the surface tension of the water. This is the effect of admixture. Induced electrostatic repulsion between the particles of the cement. Next is the lubricating film between the cement particles. Dispersion of cement grains releasing water trapped within the cement flocks. So the admixtures can be plasticizers, superplasticizers, retarders and retarding plasticizer, accelerators and accelerating plasticizers, air entering admixtures, pozzolanic or mineral admixtures, damp proofing and waterproofing admixtures, gas forming admixtures, air de-entering admixtures. So here it is air entering admixtures where the air is entered in the concrete, and here it is air deterring admixtures where air is taken out from the concrete. Alkali aggregate expansion inhibiting admixture, workability admixtures, grouting admixtures, corrosion inhibiting admixtures, bonding admixtures, that is fungicide, germicide, insecticide admixtures, coloring admixtures. Inhibition of the surface hydration reaction of the cement particles, leaving more water to fluidify the mix. This is the effect of admixture on the concrete. Change in the morphology of the hydration products. Induce steric inerts preventing particle to particle contact. These are the effects of admixtures on the concrete. So effects of superplasticizer on the fresh concrete. It is to be noted that dramatic improvement in workability is not showing up when plasticizers or superplasticizers are added to very stiff or what is called as the zero slump concrete at nominal dosages. A mix with an initial slump of about 2 to 3 cm can only be fluidized by plasticizers or superplasticizers at nominal dosages. It is often noticed that slump increases with increase in the dosage, but there is no appreciable increase in slump beyond the certain limit of the dosage. As a matter of fact, the overdosage may sometimes harm the concrete. This is very much important. So now here the YouTube links are there for the strength of concrete aggregate contribution. What is green concrete? How to make the green concrete? Quality control, that is QC, issues in the concrete. Chapters 9 to 10, construction and quality assurance. Effects and usage of the admixtures, year 3. These are the YouTube links. So we have seen the aggregate cement bond strength, green concrete, guidelines for the quality control of the concrete, guidelines for the quality assurance of the concrete, and the effects of admixtures. So in unit 1, it includes cement, cement and its type, general, hydration of the cement, alkali aggregate reaction, grading curves of the aggregate, manufacturer sand as the fine aggregate, copper slag as fine aggregate. It also has the concrete, properties of concrete, WB ratio, that is water binder ratio, gel space ratio, problems on maturity concept, aggregate cement bond strength, green concrete, guidelines for the quality control of the concrete, and the guidelines for the quality assurance of the concrete, and effects of admixtures. Thank you all students. Please give me your attendance if you have viewed the video as video topic underscore division underscore roll number underscore self name.